Hi, I'm happy to be here today to talk about WRAAP and my connection with WRAAP as a faculty member at UNCW in Wilmington. I am a professor of literacy in the elementary and language and literacy programs in the Watson College of Education. I met Mr. Dockery, the director of WRAAP. I believe we were thinking today maybe about 2009 when he just came walking down the hall in Watson and looking for faculty members who had students who might be interested in working with children. And that struck a chord with me because I particularly want my students in Watson to have authentic experiences with children. And I, as a researcher, care a lot about experiences that are not the typical school experiences, because we know that children learn from the world, they learn from their parents, they learn from church activities, sports activities, and they learn from after-school programs. And because WRAAP is such a strong program, has such a great recommendation, I've been able to keep a partnership with them, with my students now, again, I think since 2009. So what I thought I could do is tell you about some of the experiences my students have had and why these are important to me as a faculty member and also as a community member interested in programs like WRAAP. So as I said, I'm a literacy faculty member, and I teach students who are working to be elementary teachers, or sometimes they are already teaching and want to increase their knowledge of literacy. The advantage of me working with WRAAP, the program WRAAP, is that I know when I get here with my students, or when I tell my students to come here, or I send materials to the WRAAP program, I know that there is a structure to the program that is focused on academics, but is also focused on character. And both those things to me go hand in hand, of course. I also really enjoy working with the families at WRAAP because I see the dedication and the pride that they have when they are here at celebrations of WRAAP, and they see the year-long growth when they come to the graduation at the end of the school year, all those experiences. So some of the things that my students have done in connection to WRAAP, and again, these students are all studying to be teachers or to better improve their teaching. Some of the experiences that they've had are one particular year we worked on poetry, and every other week we brought poetry books over to the center and sat with the students ranging from 6 years old to I think probably the oldest was 13 or 14 years old, and we read poems together. Each week we would have silent reading time, or each of the weeks that we attended, we would have silent time together to just look at poetry books. I had Shel Silverstein books, Nikki Giovanni books, and then some classic poetry books. And as they looked at the books, they each chose their favorite one to read that day. And honestly, you could hear a pin drop as these children, again, of all ages, all backgrounds, sat and read their poem of the day. We had this experience for about, I believe, 5 months, and at the end of that experience, then each child chose their own poem to sort of, you could say, perform, and then they also wrote their own version of a poem that we put together in a poetry collection. Another experience that I had here at WRAAP that was very powerful to me was back in the early years of me working with WRAAP, and Mr. Dockery told me that one of the gaps he saw in the students' academics was in geography and sort of world knowledge, you would say. So with my students in my literature course in Watson, we put together books that all exposed or explored different regions of the world. And when I came to WRAAP, not every week, but often in the week, a student would come and observe me reading to the children. But every week when I came and I went back to my classes at Watson, I could tell stories about how the WRAAP children engaged in that literature. So whatever the story was, if it was a story, let's say it was that classic Madeline book that's set in Paris, I would read the book to them and we would talk about where Paris was on the map, and we put a push pin in that map that showed we had read a book about Paris. We went all over each continent and read books, and each time talked about where that particular setting was in that book in terms of the world. So that knowing that, yes, we live in Wilmington, which is in New Hanover County, which is in the southeastern part of North Carolina, up to North Carolina, up to the United States, and then out to the world. That's what we were trying to do, is to situate ourselves in Wilmington, but to know that there's a broader world out there. A sort of yearly activity that my students have done with WRAAP now is the Read Across America event that happens in March. I believe 3 times at least WRAAP has come to Watson and gone through stations that are all about Dr. Seuss's birthday, which is every year on March 2nd. And my students in Watson create stations about Dr. Seuss books, and the WRAAP children then go through these stations and work with my students, my education students, to explore Dr. Seuss books and then to do activities about the books. And every year I'm so impressed by how engaged the WRAAP participants are, how they want to learn about Dr. Seuss, how they ask good questions. And one of their very favorite activities is just to sit in Watson in our comfy cozy area, we call it, on the sofas, and browse Dr. Seuss books. So they're always ready to participate and to learn. And my students then get, again, this authentic experience from working with children from the community that they often don't get when they are taking classes or dropping in on a classroom for an hour a week, but not actually really getting to meet and talk to a diverse group of children from the community. And then one final thing I want to say about what we've done in the past was one year a litter campaign, anti-litter campaign. We were in Watson trying to focus on recycling. And so I came over to WRAAP and did a lesson on litter and how litter affects the environment, and how instead of littering we should recycle materials so that they can get a double use. And the kids here at WRAAP made posters for me that we copied and my students laminated, and they are still to this day hanging in every classroom in Watson by the recycling containers. Every classroom has a recycling container, and there's a WRAAP poster there to remind our adults who are in the building that they should be recycling on behalf of the kids here at WRAAP. Finally, what I want to bring us up to date with is this particular year, as we are facing school closures and all types of varieties of how children in our community are getting their education. My students are learning to be the people who are delivering this education. So it was a perfect mesh when Mr. Dockery called me a few weeks back and said that here at WRAAP there was an opportunity for virtual teaching for my students. And my students are in, some of them are in their second semester junior year, some are first semester senior year. So they're really close to the point where they're going to be graduating. And they, right now, I have to be honest and say, have a fear of what they're going to be facing when they're in the schools as teachers, because of knowing that so much of the demand right now is learning to reach into the homes virtually. So Mr. Dockery had the idea that maybe my students could practice some of this with the kids at WRAAP, so that's what we're engaged in doing right now. They are filming, my students are filming themselves delivering a literature source or a children's book, and they're going to have questions ready. They're going to read the book, and then they're going to follow up with those questions again. They're also going to focus on some new vocabulary word for each children's book, a vocabulary that they would think might be of high interest to the listener or might be challenging, that would need to be a little bit better explained before they read the book. The students in my class are choosing whatever book they want to read. They're filming themselves all on their own. They're perfecting this. They're going to send it to me, who then I will shoot it to Mr. Dockery, and he then will deliver it to the kids in WRAAP. Then the great thing about that is that he's promised to give my students some feedback on how the kids at WRAAP think they did. I think that was a big incentive for my students to know that they were going to get some feedback from real kids, because right now all they're doing is pretty much of delivering lessons that are not to a real audience. They're having to practice without real kids in front of them. So now they know that this reading is actually going to get to a real live child. So anybody who's interested in working with WRAAP, I would say you're going to get exactly what you put into it. Authentic experiences are a great outcome for me, and I really encourage people to consider doing this, because no matter what field you're in, you're going to probably get back more than you put into it, just because of the great relationships here. So thank you.